Hey folks, how y'all doing? This is Mav here with a few eBay tips for the day. Today's subject, I'd like to talk a little bit about shipping, okay? And some of the mistakes I made along the way since doing eBay, and I learned from as far as shipping. So hopefully you don't make the same mistake, or perhaps you made some of the same mistakes and you learned as well. But one of the things I learned is not charging enough on shipping. It can get tricky sometimes, because case in point here, not too long ago, I shipped a big box of clear plastic retail hangers to Hawaii. Now I put a surcharge in there because for Hawaii and Alaska, things of that nature, you can put a surcharge, right? So I put a surcharge in there, but the surcharge was not enough to help cover the cost of shipping, and so I kind of, I had to eat that loss. It wasn't a big loss. But I definitely make no profit off of it, and it was a loss. Loss is a loss, right? So I learned from that, and so now for Hawaii, if I got big items, small items is no problem, but bigger items or heavier items, you got to make sure if you're shipping to Hawaii, Alaska, that you put a high enough surcharge in there to cover the cost, help cover the cost of shipping and handling and everything. Okay. And so that's the number one mistake I learned from shipping. Second one was not packing well. I learned this a long time ago. Oh man, you hate to get that message, where somebody say, "Hey, I got the item and everything, but man, it's in 1,000 pieces," right? And so I learned a long time ago, you got to pack well, especially for fragile items, even items you might not think is fragile. Like for instance, you might think a cast iron pot would not be fragile, or pan will not be fragile, but cast iron will break if it's dropped. Okay, so also all glass, porcelain items, you want to make sure you pack them very well. I pack mine with bubble wrap, and then I put peanuts around it as well. And sometimes if the item is real fragile and high value item, okay, I would even do the box within the box. Okay, I pack it within the box, and then I'll put that box within a bigger box and put peanuts around that to make sure it gets there safely, especially from shipping international. Because me and my wife used to sell antique dolls, okay, baby dolls from the early 1900s, 1800s, whatever, and you ship them babies overseas to France or somewhere like that, because they buy back their dolls, or Germany or somewhere, and you gotta make sure that item is packed super well. And so I learned that to pack well. That's why I make sure I get my packing material at a very, very good price, so I can just use as much as I need to freely to pack well. That's number two. Make sure you pack well. Number three, if someone says, "Hey, the item came and it's in 1,000 pieces," okay, I was really wanting this item, blah 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 blah. Okay, now not saying that everybody's dishonest, but I'm serious. I'm not taking their word for it. I don't learn. Ask for pictures. Ask them to send you pictures of the item and everything like that. The box that it came in. See if the box is all dented up and smashed up. So if you got insurance on it, make sure you have insurance on it. You can file a claim and so forth. But I learned from the past that people will lie and try to scam you on eBay, right? Buyers and so forth. And so I learned to ask for pictures, because one guy actually opened up a case, went through the whole 9 yards, gave a bad feedback because we wouldn't refund him, because he sent pictures. It was a Franklin Mint cast iron, a die-cast automobile, a little miniature car, right? And he sent pictures, but it wasn't the same color of the car that we sent. And he showed the damage in the picture and everything. And so we talked to eBay, called eBay, my wife did and everything, talked with them, and they said, "Okay, don't worry about it. We can clearly see in the pictures that it's not the same car," and stuff like that. So make sure you ask for pictures, analyze the pictures well. If it's electronics or something with a number or a mark on it that you can easily identify it by, then make sure you get a picture of that, especially with electronics and everything and so forth. So make sure you get a picture of that. Okay, so that's number three. Making sure you're asking for pictures when they say something is damaged. And this one right here is very simple. Okay, so you got a envelope with a self-sealing envelope. Okay, you want to make sure that you seal this properly. Because one time a lady sent me a message, she said, I don't know how this item arrived still in the package, but the envelope was not sealed properly. And it could be that the seal was weak or whatever, but now I make sure on all envelopes that I put a small piece of tape across the front as well, just in case the glue comes loose and so forth. It hasn't happened since I've been doing that, so that's a small small problem solved, okay? So making sure the envelope is sealed, box sealed, and so forth. Number 5 is not inspecting the items well before shipping. Okay, if you're the one packing and shipping, if you're a one-man, woman operation, or if it's you and your wife or friend, whatever, working together, whoever's doing the packing, okay, they're the last line of defense. Okay, they're quality control. Okay, so you gotta make sure that the item, for instance, especially with items like something like this, okay, this item right here, it has many things that can break off of it that you might not notice when you was taking the pictures. It's very easy to miss things. So before I pack, because I do most of the packing, especially on the heavy stuff and everything. My wife packs, you know, her clothes and stuff like that she sells. But I pack every other item. And you want to make sure, inspect it well. Make sure it's the right, correct item. Make sure there's nothing missing. Because it has happened. It will happen, okay? So what I have done in the past, what we have done in the past is went back and got in contact with the buyer and say, hey, we overlooked this small issue with the item. Do you still want it? And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 they'll say yes. Go on and send anyways. I love the item. Thank you for letting me know. No problem, people. No problem with that. So inspecting the item is very key, very important. I don't care what it is, especially clothing. You want to make sure that there's no buttons missing, no tears, no stains. If you didn't disclose it, okay, and in the item description or condition, okay. So inspecting the item is very, very, very important. I can't emphasize that enough, okay. Okay, I have done this. I don't know if you have done it before or not, but ship the wrong item. Because you can have 2 items that are very similar in nature, but it can be a model number that's different between them. It can be anything that's different between them, okay. And you ship the wrong item. That has happened to me in the past, okay. So I simply, usually the item didn't cost that much. I told him, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Go on and keep the item because I don't want to send you through no trouble or send it back. It was my mistake. I'm shipping yours out today. If I wasn't sending the priority, I'll go and ship a priority. That's just good customer service. You know, I feel like that I want to give my customers and they appreciate it and stuff like that because I want them to come back. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're shipping the right item before you ship it out. Okay, go back, look at the posting, compare the picture and everything, make sure it's the same exact item, and you can avoid that problem, okay? Not having enough postage. This happened very early on, and I don't think it has happened no time here in the last few years. My first on doing eBay is not having enough postage on the item. So I might have been shipping it priority, whatever, but I for some reason I entered, the weight might have been like 5 pounds, 1 ounce, and I said, well, it's close to 5 pounds. And so I put 5 pounds on it, and guess what? Post office is going to send it back to you and say, not enough postage, okay? So you want to make sure that, and with FedEx, because I ship FedEx a lot, so FedEx is not a problem. They don't charge you for the shipping until it's delivered. Then they charge you for the shipping. So you don't have to worry about that. They're not going to send it back to you. They're going to charge you for it. So FedEx is great for heavier and bigger items and stuff like that, and so I use that for it. So that's number 7 is not having enough postage, okay? Number 8 is the final one. I learned I can ship international. I love international. Now I use a global shipping program, which is great because it goes straight to Kentucky. From Texas to Kentucky, the shipping is very cheap for me. So no matter how heavy or light it is, it's just going to Kentucky with no problem. I can send a priority. I can send it through FedEx if it's real big and heavy and so forth. If it's going international, and they take it from there. It's out of my hands, right? Great, okay. But in the past, okay, and some of y'all might do it now. You might ship outside of the global shipping program for whatever reason, okay? I don't, okay? So, in the past, most countries I had no problems with. I can ship to Europe, I can ship, to Canada. I would have no problem with shipping and so forth for the most part, okay? But beware of China. I'm going to say it again. Beware of China. Why? Especially when it comes to certain items, okay? Especially when it comes to jewelry. Because they'll claim what? I know y'all heard it. If y'all went down the road too, it felt the same pain I felt. They'll say they never got the item. Okay, so there's no tracking, nothing that can be done. There's nothing you can do but give them the money back, right? So I block China. I block all Asian countries. Taiwan, all of them. I block. I don't ship to the Philippines and all that. No, no. I won't do no business with you folks and everything, because they'll scam you. 100% of the time, I think that they got me and so forth. A few times I did ship to them countries. So them are the few things. Real summarize real quick what I just said. Not charging enough on shipping. Make sure that if it's a heavy item, especially, that you take in consideration where it's going and how much it might cost you. Not packing well. Just use plain packing material. Use a proper box. If it's a heavy, fragile, might use a thicker box or double wall a box. Put 2 boxes in one. Not asking for pictures if something's wrong with an item. Make sure they send you pictures. Inspect the item. Make sure it's the one that you sent them. Make sure you seal the bubble envelopes good, even though they're soft adhesive. Not inspecting items well before shipping. Quality control is very important. Make sure you check out items for defects and anything like that, and then mention it to the buyer. Get in contact with them. I'm telling you, they don't mind. Don't be afraid to do that. Shipping the wrong item. Make sure you check the item before you ship it with what's actually been posted. Make sure it's exactly the same item. Not have enough postage. That's very simple and easy. Make sure you weigh it properly and round it up to the next pound. Shipping items to China, okay? Again, I don't do it, and I definitely caution against shipping to any Asian country. Okay, folks, it's Marvin Marva here talking about shipping and the mistakes that I made. It was 8 mistakes I spoke up here. And thank you all. Y'all have a great day and continue to have great success in your eBay business.